We're here at the Twitter Chirp Hat Day and getting around and meeting all the cool developers. So who are you?
I'm Jody Rich, Wing Dude, CEO of Peoplebrowsr. We started 3 years ago building huge data mine of tweets and MySpace data and Facebook data. And what we've launched yesterday is Analytically, which is a very, very deep dive into Twitter analytics. We look at events, we look at brands, we look at the global Twitter sphere metrics that are going through. Who are the celebrities who are being spoken about most? What are the brands that are being spoken about most? And the part that I'm most excited about is we can take your audience, Robert, and we can tell you what brands your audience is speaking about. What are the memes and themes going on in your audience?
So first of all, is this a free service or is it something we buy? Tell me a little bit about that because I'm really interested in this for Rackspace's accounts.
Great. We would love to do something with Rackspace because we also have this end-to-end link with human sentiment, Mechanical Turks, so that we can say to companies like Rackspace, hey, what are the good things that are being said about you after removing sarcasm and double negatives and double positives? And some of it's free, some of it's $20 a month, and then the really deep reports are thousands of dollars. And that's how we make money, and we've been cash positive now for about 9 months.
I just got an email from you with some of the data that you're reporting even about me, and it's really cool, beautiful charts and graphs and all sorts of data that just goes on and on. I just kept scrolling and finding more stuff. Tell me a little bit about what you're reporting. Like if Rackspace hired you, what would you email to my boss every morning, so that he would be able to tell whether I'm doing a good job or not?
Oh, you're definitely doing a fantastic job. Mentions, retweets, positive, negative, geo-sorted, who's engaged in your audience. And then we drill down on all the metadata as well. So what we're doing is collecting all the metadata. Our objective is to be this very, very rich source, not just of the tweets themselves, but all the other metadata around Rackspace. It might be tweet pics or tweet photos or the cloud index. And so we're getting together with other developers and uploading all this metadata into one big central database. And the database is growing at about 2 terabytes a month.
What do you think about Twitter's moves? Because they've clearly shifted direction, that they're now competing with some of the partners that that had open free reign, right? They bought Tweety, they're building a BlackBerry client, they just announced they're building an Android client. Do you think they're going to build analytics? Obviously they are. And how are you going to keep ahead of them, I guess?
So I think I wouldn't say competing. I think they're blessing. They are blessing the ad space, they are blessing the client space, they are blessing analytics when they get involved. And it will always be that nimble little developers who are focusing on particular things will be able to offer users like Rackspace a richer experience. So I welcome Twitter being involved. And who says that there's room for only one player? We're talking about the world. This is a revolution that's going on, and there's room for many, many players.
What are you most excited about? You sat here yesterday while Evan was on stage and the execs announced some new features. Did you see anything cool that you're going to use in your companies?
So first thing is, I think the headline news is that Twitter has evolved a lot in the last 12 months as a company. This has been an incredibly authentic conference. It's been very open. I've never been to a conference where they have put their board on stage for people to ask questions of. I mean, what a wonderful thing to do, and what a wonderful thing to have those VCs hearing what the real users and developers are thinking. What a wonderful thing for their management team then to be on later on. That was huge. This has been one of the most authentic and open conferences that I've ever been to. Then from an announcement point of view, the fact that they're announcing annotation is huge. And the life of a tweet up until today has been very, very short. But with annotations and what we're offering with our data mine, the life of a tweet now is going to be way extended. I can now say to you, Robert, okay, you were interested in the Obama election in 2008. Let's go back and have a good look at that data again. Let's look at the metadata around it and the annotations. And this whole thing is now going to persist from being a stream to being a cloud.
And that's what excited me too. I've talked with Nick Halstead about it, and that seems to be what really resonated. To use a Twitter word, which they're using with the public tweets now that promote a tweet, their advertising model, which they say isn't advertising, but they say we're going to measure how tweets are resonating with audiences. Completely. What do you think about that? Because you're studying resonance before Twitter was, right?
Well, you see, the stream has been this sort of instant thing. And now if we can associate contextual data, like when you start typing your tweet, if I can tell you about the things that you're typing about before you even post the tweet, by doing real-time searches on the words that you're typing as they come up, then that is going to mean that your tweets are much richer and the tweet will persist much longer. And then by allowing you to search back up to 360 days, we're giving the tweets a much, much longer life. And so this business is moving from one which is basically instant satisfaction, instant justification, to a one where we will be looking much, much deeper into the future and we'll have a lot more data available to make decisions.
It's really an exciting time to be in this space. What do you are you hearing anything about Facebook? Because Facebook's next week, and this video will probably come out in a week or two, is going to announce something, right? And you're sort of studying not just Twitter, are you? Or are you just going to focus totally on Twitter?
Well, so our analytics is very, very Twitter-centric because they're so open. And MySpace is now open, and so we're adding MySpace. We really wish that Facebook would be more open, but they haven't been. And that's, one of the huge appeals about Twitter has been the openness. So, you spend lots of time in LA, those guys would say, today, it's the first day of the rest of your life. There's some amazing things that Twitter have done today, and you're absolutely right. Everything that we've done for the last 3 years is putting us in a position where we can launch, experimental things. I think I told you about T2.
What's that?
T2 is our experimental client that we'll be letting you have a look at next week, where as you type the post, we'll be showing you all those different relationships.
Very cool.
Thanks, Rob.
I can't wait to see that. Where do I find you? And thanks for coming on my show.
You find me at Wingdude or jodyrich@gmail.com.
Very cool. And we find Peoplebrowsr at peoplebrowsr.com
or analytically.
Analytic.ly.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Thanks, man. Nice to see you.
Thanks, man.